Calaroga Shark Media.
Hey, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. On today's show, Bill Burr's on Kimmel drops a million F-bombs while talking about Los Angeles. Eddie Griffin has a conspiracy theory about the fires. Sketchfest kicks off in San Francisco. And what did Pete Davidson say that hurt Nikki Glaser's feelings? All right, Bill Burr was on Jimmy Kimmel and talked about having to evacuate his house. I've got a long clip here. All the bleeps are where Burr dropped F-bombs. Hey, Bill Burr. Have you not done TV before? Are you not familiar with how late night goes? Why are you dropping F-bombs? Anyway, here's the clip.
It's very good to see you. I heard you had to evacuate your home.
Yes. Like most people, I had to. I got lucky, the winds moved, but, the fire was coming and all that stuff. So I feel lucky.
Are you guys back in?
And I think everybody did a great job.
Yeah.
Unlike the internet,
Yeah, right. I know. It's right.
Oh, my God. All of these fire experts. Why didn't you just fly a helicopter into the ocean and then just, I don't know, because there was 100-knot winds? You want to do that? You want to do that at night, you lunatic?
How are you?
This was definitely mismanaged.
That's a big word we're hearing now.
Mismanaged, like some idiot on the internet knows how to manage the worst fire in L.A. sitting there in his underwear. You know what? Looking at the footage on the internet, I have determined that this here was mismanaged.
You know about helicopters because I remember, and it's interesting now thinking about it because you said
I don't know about it. I know about the one that I fly. Other than that, I don't know anything about it.
You know
but
something
if you're on
about...
the internet, you know everything.
I hope you know about it because you said that you got your pilot's license in case like all hell broke loose in L.A., you could get out of L.A. And at any moment, did you think, I'm going to make a run for that helicopter?
Well, the error in my thought was I didn't realize how expensive helicopters were. So all I have is a two-seater, and I didn't want to have to make Sophie's choice with my family.
Kimmel shared a discussion he had with his brother. According to Kimmel, he started talking to a lady who honestly believed that Diddy started the fires. Diddy, who was in prison in New York, managed to start the fire, and she believed this. There's a story going around on TikTok that says the fires were started on purpose by elites who intend to destroy Diddy's pedophile escape tunnels because they're evidence. This is something real people believe, said Kimmel. My legal department just wants to point out, we here at Daily Comedy News have no knowledge of Diddy having pedophile escape tunnels. I'm just quoting Jimmy Kimmel. Apparently, Eddie Griffin talked about this theory on his YouTube channel. On a video uploaded on the 14th, Griffin apparently said, LA is on fire and a lot of people are saying it's to cover up the pedophile trial and suddenly all the water ain't working. Let's pray for the MFers out there. The houses is burning down and stuff unless they pedophiles. If they are pedophiles, F them. Let's get that burned because I don't know what you're doing. You're burning the evidence up. Sons of bees, but we're still going to catch it. Sticking with late night, apparently Trump was up late watching TV at 1:24 a.m. on Tuesday morning. Trump went on Truth Social and wrote, "How bad is Seth Meyers on NBC?" Well, that's not the worst point. How bad is Seth Meyers on NBC, a network run by a truly bad group of people? I got stuck watching Marblemouth Myers the other night, the first time in months, and every time I watch this moron, we should tell Trump about remote controls and stuff. Every time I watch this moron, I feel an obligation to say how dumb and untalented he is, merely a slot filler for the scum that runs Comcast. These guys should be paying a lot of money for the right to give these kind of in-kind contributions to the radical left Democrat Party. These are not shows or entertainment. They're simply political hits 100% of the time. To me and the Republican Party, Comcast should pay a big, all caps, price for this. It is unclear what particularly led Trump to jump on Truth Social and comment on Seth Meyers. Trump apparently enjoys late night, previously calling Stephen Colbert very boring, Jimmy Fallon weak and pathetic, and Jimmy Kimmel a loser. I'd missed this one. I think it came out kind of quick to the event, but last Friday, the Laugh Factory in Los Angeles hosted a fundraiser for the Los Angeles Fire Foundation. All proceeds from both Friday shows went to the foundation. Jamie Masada is the club's owner and said the club is proud to lift up our heroes who are putting their lives on the line to save people and property across L.A. Our firefighters are real-life superheroes. Laugh Factory President David Fuhrer added, our firefighters are real-life superheroes, and we're proud to support them in their mission to keep the community safe. Eliza Schlesinger is playing Vancouver on Friday. She lives in L.A. Her house is okay, but she told Global News, what is heartening is seeing how quickly my city jumped into action, how quickly the donation centers were at capacity, How much all of a sudden a city that's very much tiered in terms of socioeconomic A-list versus B-list, how quickly that all just melted away and was just like, come on over, what can I do? How can we help those on the ground? In situations like this, you realize how big human hearts can be and that you really can rely on one another. Prior to this, the most apocalyptic situation I'd been in was like an airport during the holidays. We see people at their worst. Sometimes it takes the worst to see us at our best. In San Francisco today, Sketchfest kicks off the 2025 Comedy Festival. This is a great event. Over 190 shows today through February 2nd. Let's start with the stand-up comedians who are performing, including Maria Bamford, Chris Fleming, Joel Kim Booster, Dulce Sloan, Reese Darby, Robbie Hoffman, Punky Johnson, Aparna Nancherla, the Sklar Brothers, Nora Davis, Josh Gondelman, Allison Levy, Kate Willett, Hampton Yount, Nori Reed, Todd Barry, Todd Glass, and many more. The SF Sketchfest Dozen is a yearly spotlight of 12 top comedians. This year, Sophie Buttle, Brittany Carney, Carmen Christopher, Marie Faustin, Roz Hernandez, Kevin Iso, Bo Johnson, Rachel Cayley, Saul Trujillo, Ikechukwu Ufomando, Eagle Witt, and Sabrina Wu. The 45th anniversary of the film Airplane that I'm trying to get my daughter to watch will be celebrated with a special live read featuring co-creators Jerry and David Zucker, original stars Robert Hayes and Julie Haggerty, and surprise guests. Napoleon Dynamite celebrates its 20th anniversary with a live read featuring the film's stars. Sketch comedy favorites The State will present a live read of their unproduced musical, A Holiday Hubbub at Porcupine Corners. 3 members of the Kids in the Hall, Bruce McCullough, Kevin McDonald, and Scott Thompson, will team up with the Bay Area's Red Room Orchestra for a night of songs and sketches from Kids in the Hall stuff. The George Lucas Talk Show, which is a lot of fun on the interwebs, if you've ever seen that. Connor Ratliff is in town. He'll be doing the George Lucas Talk Show, which is always fun. Also a fake acting class and a parody reading of the Star Wars holiday special called The Kashyyyk Life Day Carol. A lot going on here. The cast of Children's Hospital and Futurama will reunite. The 50th anniversary of the Groundlings will be celebrated with an all-star show. A lot of all-stars have gone through the Groundlings. Some Groundlings who you've heard of probably live in L.A., so we'll see if that affects things, but that could be major. Bill Murray and his Blood Brothers Band are out there. sfsketchfest.com for all the information there. A really fantastic festival. I got to do it. It's been a minute now. And I just got back from Antarctica, so right now it's a little hard to tell my wife, hey, I'm going to go to San Francisco because it's the 45th anniversary of Airplane and, podcast. The Wall Street Journal profiled Pete Davidson. He loves Staten Island. He says in all these other places, people move to a neighborhood and gentrify it. They put in insomnia cookies over there and call it a day. But in Staten Island, it's all homegrown businesses, really hardworking people. It's the only place in New York where people just leave me alone. They were curious what time Pete gets up on a Monday and what's the first thing he does. The answer, if I'm not working, I probably get up around 10:30. Then I try to work out immediately. I just started working out. And they were curious, what's Pete Davidson's workout routine like? Pete says, I'm lifting a lot of weights. I'm trying to bulk up and look like an adult. I have a bird body, and as I'm getting older, I just can't look like a child anymore. Pete says, I'm working out minimum 5 days a week, doing meal prep and eating a lot of protein. I'm not a very good eater. I'm very, very skinny and shrimp-like. I also have Crohn's, so it's always been difficult to eat and diet, and I kind of finally figured out how to do it. So the Wall Street Journal asked, how do breakfast and coffee fit into your morning? Random follow-up. But Pete answered, I'm not a big breakfast guy, but you should always eat breakfast. This is like ABC promo from the cartoons on Saturday mornings in the 70s. You should always eat breakfast. So if I can't eat breakfast, which is usually a bacon, egg, and cheese, I'll have a protein shake. I love coffee. Sometimes I'll do iced black coffee, and then sometimes I like the pumpkin spice or the peppermint. Pete should start to buy me a coffee. Pete, you're in the process of removing your tattoos. Are there any you're keeping? What's with the Hillary tattoo? Pete said, I burned off all the tattoos on my arms, and now I'm working on the chest and back. The Hillary one is going to stay there because I know her really well, and I love her. I just think she's a very important figure in our nation's history, one of the most important women ever. She's super resilient and just a tough lady, so it'll always stay there. Nikki Glaser told the Vogue podcast about something Pete Davidson said that hurt her feelings. Nikki told Vogue, I still think about some of the jokes that have been made about me from roast 6 years ago, and they still haunt me. I'm seeing them when I look in the mirror. They will uncover things about you that you don't even know about yourself, or it's a thing that you've always been like, I think this about me, but I'm just really mean to me. No one else has noticed it. What did Pete say? Glaser says Pete joked that Nikki doesn't have an ass. Nikki said, I mean, I knew I didn't, and I know I don't. But the fact that Pete Davidson had taken it in and sat with it, and I sat with it too, and it hurts because I don't have an ass. But the fact that he had really thought about it, or maybe somebody wrote the joke for him, But he at least had to be like, that works for her, and it hurt me. Big inauguration coming up on Monday. TMZ reports that Theo Vaughn has been invited and will attend. I'll let you know if any other comedians plan on attending. Let's check in on John Mulaney's Broadway show, All In, a Comedy About Love. Apparently, it's cracked the top 5 grossing shows. All In, a Comedy About Love features readings of short stories, and it brought in close to $1.7 million at the Hudson Theater and played to 100% capacity. That was to see the cast of John Mulaney, Fred Armisen, Richard Kind, and Chloe Fineman. It's a rotating cast, though. The next lineup is Lin-Manuel Miranda, Aidy Bryant, Andrew Rannells, and Nick Kroll. In case you're curious how $1.7 million compares to other shows, the top spot went to Wicked, which grossed $2.4 million. Fantastic show. I've seen it. Hamilton, you've probably heard of that one. I've seen that too. $1.85 million. The Lion King, still pulling in the money at $1.75 million. I've never seen Lion King on Broadway, nor have I seen Gypsy, which was 4th with $1.748 million. Can you hear my voice is still no good? It's so annoying. I was sick, then I got healthy before the trip, which was great. And then I'm an idiot. I flew for a 4-hour flight and a 10-hour flight on a plane, and I know better. I should wear a mask. But you know what? I didn't have a mask, and at the Ushuaia airport in Argentina, didn't know how to acquire a mask, so I cowboyed it, and now I have this stupid cold, and my voice still has the fuzz in it. I've been back for a week and change, and it's driving me nuts. And that's your common news for today. I like coffee too. You could buy me a coffee, and if I run into Pete Davidson, I'll pass your $5 along, and I'll buy Pete Davidson a coffee. I would love to buy Pete Davidson a coffee. Pete, I know you're listening. Text me. One way to support the show, go to buymeacoffee.com/dailycomedynews. I will take your money. I will go to the National Donuts chain. I will order on the app. I don't even talk to anybody. In olden times, I'd be like, hey, can I get a large iced coffee with caramel and milk? But no. I don't have to do that anymore. I have an app. I could be completely antisocial. I drive. I walk in. It's sitting there. It says John M. on the cup. Don't steal my coffee. And then get back in the car. Buymeacoffee.com/dailycomedynews. If you would like the program without commercials, click the link in the show notes. If you're on Apple Podcasts, click that banner there where it says subscribe or whatever it said. I should check. You think I'd know these things. Get out my app. John, are you vamping because you thought the second half of the podcast was a little short today? No, why would you suggest that? Especially when the first half was plenty long. The banner says, try free, uninterrupted listening, $4.99 a month or $49.99 a year after trial. So give it a try. 30 days, on day 29, just cancel it. See you tomorrow.